Minister Sutin asks Army to probe claims by a former female soldier that she was sexually molested. Minister of Defense, Sutin Klangsaeng, opens a full investigation into claims made by a former female ranger in the Royal Thai Army, alleging sexual molestation by a senior officer in Phitsanulok. Ms. Chollada, 28, was forced to resign and is seeking justice. Minister of Defense Sutin Klangsaeng has waded into a controversy raised on Friday in which a former female ranger with the Royal Thai Army claimed she was sexually molested by a senior officer at a base in Phitsanulok. 28-year-old Ms. Chollada made the abuse claim on a visit to Royal Thai Army headquarters in Bangkok. She claimed she was forced to resign from the military and her career over the matter. She was speaking at a press conference with social media activist Gun Jompalong, who has taken up her cause. Minister of Defense Sutin Klangsaeng ordered the probe after returning from Laos on Saturday. He told reporters that an initial report was already on his desk. He stressed the need to be fair with all parties. At the same time, he vowed wrongdoing would be punished. Minister of Defense Sutin Klangsaeng, on Saturday, ordered a full probe by the Royal Thai Army into sexual abuse claims by a former female soldier. The case was taken up this week by a social media activist on behalf of a former Elite Ranger Corps member. She alleges was sexually assaulted by a senior officer, one of her boyfriend's superiors. The incident took place at an army base on Phitsanulok. Minister spoke to reporters about the case at Don Mueang Airport on Saturday. He said he would ask the Royal Thai Army for a full report on the matter. At 10:20 a.m. on December 23, 2023, at Don Mueang Airport, Mr. Sutin briefed reporters on the matter. He said the case involved a 28-year-old female ranger. She has been identified as Ms. Chollada. The former Army Ranger alleges her initial complaints to Army top brass led to her resignation from the force. The veteran, who served for 7 to 8 years in the kingdom's troubled southern provinces, seeks justice. Ms. Chollada claims a senior soldier broke into her house on a Phitsanulok Army base at night. This occurred when her boyfriend, another member of the armed forces, was away. The senior officer tried to forcefully have sex with her. Army report already submitted to Minister Sutin's office. He will examine the details therein before responding further. Any wrongdoing will be punished. At this time, Minister Sutin revealed the Army had already reported to him on this story. However, he has not yet looked at the details. Mr. Sutin explained he was on a meeting mission to the Lao People's Democratic Republic, Lao PDR. In short, he asked to be allowed to examine the details first before responding. The minister, however, was adamant. If there is wrongdoing in the matter, there must be punishment. He said he would not allow a cover-up. The Army has already checked. He disclosed initial reports suggested this was certainly not the case. The beautiful young woman who made the complaint on Friday was a member of the Elite Army Rangers. She served in Thailand's border areas. This week, she came forward with a social media activist to seek justice from top brass at the Royal Thai Army. Her name is Ms. Chollada. Vivid account of a sexual attack in Phitsanulok while the victim's boyfriend was on a military mission. Offending officer was her boyfriend's superior. She gave a vivid account of being sexually assaulted during a late-night encounter with a senior Army officer. That is, he was a non-commissioned soldier. In a press conference with social media activist Gun Jompalong, she stood beside him undisguised. At length, she recalled how she thought the door of her home was being knocked down with violent banging. However, she felt relief when she recognized the senior officer who came to visit her. Rather, she felt momentarily at ease. At the same time, as she opened the door, she was invited to embrace and hug him. When she complied with this order, she found herself being sexually assaulted. Firstly, her shirt was ripped off by the senior who challenged her to fight him and get a knife. He then moved to rape her. Her complaint led to mediation but later, subsequently, to her resignation from the force. She said the incident made her lose all faith and confidence. As well as that, she told reporters that when she complained about the incident, she was basically forced to resign from her position. The ex-soldier said the matter caused her considerable personal pain. At the same time, she lost faith in the management of the Army and her direct superiors. Ms. Chollada said that even if she was offered her army job back, at this moment, she would not accept. Such was her loss of faith and confidence. She told reporters that, later, she was reprimanded and scolded for complaining about the incident. Meanwhile, the officer in question was promoted to the rank of sergeant major. Justice Crusader alleges depraved female school teacher sexually abused 12-year-old in Bangkok. Man with 4 wives suspected of murdering 5 of his 10 children in 11 years of terror. The social media activist Gun Jompalong, or Mr. Kanarat Gunpong Pebunwet, a justice crusader who has exposed many scandals and criminal activities including sexual attacks and murder, before acting in this matter, said he was quite sure that a crime had been committed against the female officer. He said she deserved justice. Friday's press conference at Royal Thai Army headquarters. Social media activist highlights that the female soldier had served for 7 to 8 years in the South. The 28-year-old woman accompanied Mr. Kanarat to the press conference. Significantly, she visibly showed her face as she engaged with reporters. This was on Friday at 10 a.m. at Royal Thai Army headquarters on Ratchadaman Road in Bangkok. The social media activist said the former Rangers member submitted a request for justice to the Deputy Permanent Secretary of Defense, the Inspector General and Army spokesperson at the Royal Thai Army headquarters who they encountered on the visit. Gun Jompalong emphasized to reporters that the female soldier had served with distinction. She had been based for 7 to 8 years on the border in Thailand's southern provinces. The incident in question had robbed her of her confidence in the army based on instructions from the top. She lamented that no one paid any attention to her service over the 7 to 8 years. In contrast, they focused on the potential damage she may cause to the Army's image. Warm and cordial reception from headquarters on Friday. At the same time, Ms. Chollada and Gun Jompalong noted the warm and cordial welcome they had received at Royal Thai Army headquarters. They were assured of cooperation in the matter on Friday. Ms. Chollada earlier explained that the incident occurred while her boyfriend, another Army member, was away on a mission. She also revealed that she had had the incident noted in military records of the unit on the day it happened. Afterwards, she was informed her report was a personal matter and not related to her military unit. After receiving no response from a superior, she subsequently made a formal complaint, but again there was no response. A second attempt to file a formal complaint was made by her brother on her behalf. This time, within 3 days, she received documents from the Army's leadership including a resignation letter for her to sign. At one point, Ms. Chollada alluded to a mediation exercise. In that case, she claimed a liaison officer suggested that female soldiers made a big deal out of trivial matters. He said women were too hasty to submit complaints. Minister Sutin said he would probe the matter. Any bullying in the defense forces must stop. However, he stressed the need to be fair to all parties. On Saturday, the minister was asked about the victim's claims that her report was viewed as a personal matter. Furthermore, that the complaint process ultimately led to a resignation letter. Mr. Sutin said that he had to look into this matter. If anyone neglected to perform their duties, there would have to be consequences, he underlined. In short, proper procedures must be followed. Sutin explained that neglect to perform one's duty can apply to all levels. If a subordinate is seen to have done something wrong and there is no investigation or punishment, then that is considered an omission as well. Whoever ignores their military duty must be called to account. Minister Sutin said any fact-finding in this matter must be fair to all parties. He was well aware that the Royal Thai Army had many good people in its ranks. Their reputation and morale were also important. However, to protect the military, bullying or intimidation must be challenged. It cannot be ignored.